What's up? It's Tom. Thanks for being here. Twins system recap. Let's talk some Twins. Let's take a look at some minor league highlights. Kicking things off with a breakdown of the Twins series in Florida against the Rays. Don't have a ton to say. They lost that series, won one game, the middle game, and lost the bookends. Not a great series for the Twins, and a lot of it looked rough around the edges. The guys didn't seem to see the ball well there, especially in the outfield, multiple players on the Twins. But Joe Ryan pitched a great game against his former organization on Tuesday. Carlos Correa looks like Carlos Correa all of a sudden. He made some great plays in the field. He hit an impressive home run. He had a 3-hit game. It's almost like that concussion IL stay fixed Carlos Correa. There's no sense to saying that, but he looks like a brand new guy all of a sudden. He looks like Carlos Correa. It's amazing. If you want to pull any kind of optimism out of this series, I think that's the biggest one there, is that Carlos Correa looks like he's ready to be a force in the lineup again. Put down there in the bottom, and I know I've been talking about this a lot, but Twins now have a 12-17 record on the road. I haven't talked about this yet, though. They are 15-19 against teams with a 500 record or better, but they are 17-7 in May. So a couple bad news and one good news. I've been kind of hammering on this big road trip. They go to Seattle now after being off today. I'm not saying like you can't take the Twins seriously until these records start to look better, but that's kind of the next stage of, okay, you put that season opening slump behind you. You had the great winning streak. Awesome. It kind of reset the season. Now these are kind of two check boxes I'm looking for. Can you win on the road, and can you beat teams with 500 or above records? And I think that will kind of give us more of a show that this is more of a consistency, a consistent excellence, instead of just hot streaks on hot and cold, hot and cold. I want to see those two things improve. And we'll keep it, it's still very early. We'll keep an eye on that going forward, but just kind of wanted to point those two numbers out. Some Twins notes. Carson McCusker was sent back down to St. Paul today. I'm just happy that the guy can call himself a major leaguer. He collected his first major league hit. I think he'll be back in the big leagues at some point. But it's just you worry about you never know. You never know how things are going to go. And I just feel much better that Carson McCusker got that opportunity. And again, I think he'll get more than likely. But now that box is checked, it just feels good that he's been rewarded with that, basically. And obviously, it wasn't some kind of token reward. He earned that call-up. So the expectation is that Byron Buxton is going to be activated from the 7-day concussion injured list, but might be somebody else joining him too. We'll talk about that in a sec. Twins probables at the Seattle series, are Zebby Matthews, Bailey Ober, and Chris Paddock. The Mariners counter with Brian Wu, Bryce Miller, and Luis Castillo. That ballpark has traditionally, since it's been open essentially for many years, been the lowest run-scoring environment in baseball. So keep that in mind as we are watching the games and thinking about baseball in Seattle. The Twins are off today, but the Mariners are playing at home. So maybe that kind of gives the Twins a bit of an advantage, although the Twins had a very long flight from Florida to Seattle. Speaking of the Twins being off, just want to call out, I was the guest on the Twins Off Daily podcast today. So I had a lot of fun with Lou Hennessy and Greg Masterson, having a good time talking Twins ball, and made some big Nostradamus predictions you might find interesting. One of them, I don't have highlights of David Festa's outing from today, but he pitched really well for St. Paul. One of them involves David Festa, who's looking really good. I was getting really excited about David Festa. So let's kick it into the minor league highlights, starting things off with Kyler Fedko. 10 homers in 40 games this year. This was his first career multi-homer game and his 308th career minor league games. He had 9 homers in 136 games his prior 2 seasons. So again, this year, 10 homers in 40 games. The 2 previous seasons, 9 homers in 136 games. So Kyler Fedko is just looking like a brand new player, and it's really fun. And Wichita needs some punch, so that's been fun too. Kaelen Culpepper hit another home run as well. Led this game off with a home run, and that was the only run of the whole game. He also got some love from Keith Law. I'm not going to give it away, but if you're a subscriber to The Athletic, go and check out what Keith Law's newest article is and what he's putting on Kaelen Culpepper. It's very exciting. Jose Olivares for Cedar Rapids, 22-year-old Venezuelan. He's been pitching pretty good. He's walked a bunch of guys. That's been the main problem, but not the case yesterday. Only walked one batter, pitched great, only give up one hit. And that's the thing, even when his control has struggled, guys are not hitting him. He has a 178 opponent's average this year, just 16 hits given up in 26 innings. And he's, consistently 93, 94, 95. Not the biggest guy in the world, but he can get it up there, and he's nasty. Again, that was Jose Olivares. Eli Jones for the Mighty Muscles is up next. This was the Twins' 7th-round pick in last year's draft out of South Carolina. He had a good outing, pitched 6 innings. You don't see that a ton in the lower levels. Did get into some trouble in that 6th inning, but he threw over 70% of his pitches for strikes, well over 70%. That's really impressive. He was very aggressive on the mound. Finishes up a good May in which he went 5+ innings in all 4 of his starts. Had a 3.74 ERA and 1.06 WHIP in the month. Topped out at 95.6 miles per hour in this game. Again, that's Eli Jones, South Carolina product. Cole Peschl, his draft mate, though, the first guy from the 2024 draft class to get starts in Cedar Rapids, despite being the 15th round pick in that class. He had a great outing in his second start for Cedar Rapids. Seeing some highlights here. On the season, he has a 1.49 ERA and 49 strikeouts in 36 and a third innings. That's a 12-point-something K per 9. Again, Cole Peschl, who is he's like 10 feet tall when he's up on that mound. And, when you're pitching as well as he is, hats off to him. He's got every right to be that confident. Moving on over to some minor league notes. CJ Culpepper, who we haven't seen this year yet. He's been injured. Pitched his first rehab game with the FCL Twins on Tuesday. It went well, so hopefully he's working back to Wichita. Hopefully we see him back with the Wind Surge before too long. Gabriel Gonzalez, who was recently promoted up to Wichita, had an 829 OPS with more walks and strikeouts in his first 8 games since being promoted. That wasn't including tonight's game, and I think he hit a triple tonight. So Gabriel Gonzalez, that great start at Cedar Rapids. He's looking really good on his start to Wichita. Hopefully he keeps that up. Simeon Woods Richardson has made 2 starts for the Saints and has looked really good in those. And Matt Wallner now has 5 homers in 6 games with the Saints. I referenced this with Byron Buxton expecting to return tomorrow. I think Matt Wallner, I think he's ready. 5 home runs in 6 games during his rehab assignment with the Saints. And both of those guys, and I called out that Seattle T-Mobile Park there is the lowest run-scoring environment in the league. But I don't care where you're playing. Byron Buxton and Matt Wallner are huge difference makers for this Twins lineup right now. They need some more pop. They need some more thump, some more difference-making guys. Cody Clemens can't do it all by himself. Jesus, that guy's been incredible. But yeah, that's going to be a major difference maker. And these Twins lineups are going to look dramatically different with those guys in there. Some more minor league notes. We still don't have any kind of a specific timetable for Walker Jenkins, but it sounds like a few more weeks. Mid-June at the earliest is what it sounds like, so that's too bad. It's a high ankle sprain, and they're struggling with it. Kadeem Zhao had to go in the IL for Cedar Rapids with a fractured thumb. He's been having a really great year. So that's a bummer. I'm not sure how long that's going to take to heal, but Pancho Ruiz, who's been playing well for Fort Myers, got promoted up to Cedar Rapids, and Ricardo Pena, who is a really intriguing, really young prospect who had been hitting in the FCL, is now up with Fort Myers. So, it's unfortunate for Jiao, but some other catchers get to move up and get some opportunities. That's always interesting. Jay Thomason, who'd been tearing it up for Fort Myers, has been activated. He's back with them, so that's good to see. I didn't call this out, but another one I want to say is that Peyton Eales is still rehabbing with Fort Myers. Hasn't done a ton. I don't think he's still finishing complete games yet, so got to remember this guy missed the whole year to date, and he's just kind of getting him ramped back up. It's like a spring training almost. We should see Peyton Eales kind of back fully activated before too much longer, I would imagine. Thank you so much for checking this one out. Really appreciate you. We'll talk again soon.